I dedicate the political ideology of Ambu Udyam Party to our Republic of India and my fellow 147 crore citizens. Sembutse M. Subhas Babu, President, Ambu Udyam Party. Just as the Allahabad High Court found in 1975 that how the state government machinery was used to rig by her the election when Mrs. Indira Gandhi contested as a candidate from the Rae-Bareilly constituency in the 1971 Indian Parliamentary General Election. If we examine the speech delivered by the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu Mr. M. Karunanidhi on behalf of the Tamil Nadu state government at the joint meeting of those district officers held at A. Tamil Nadu Government Secretariat on August 28, 2010. We can understand and confirm it how the state government machinery was prepared by him to support the ruling party in the 2011 Tamil Nadu State Legislative Assembly General Election and how Mr. M. Karunanidhi on behalf of the Tamil Nadu government issued administrative orders to the district police officers to act against democratic processes. And how the police were used by the Tamil Nadu ruling party to suppress its democratic participation of Ambu Udyam in election and in politics. In 1971, then Shri Raj Narain was given the whole opportunity to participate in politics and contest elections, in which the election results were declared democratically. And the election result was confirmed in favor of the ruling party by the Election Commission of India. But in 1975, the Allahabad High Court upheld the electoral malpractices and fraud in the victory of the candidate concerned, Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Similarly, in 2009, when I, M. Subhash Babu, in my personal political identity Ambu Udyam entered politics and contested the elections, then the ruling party in the government of Tamil Nadu. How I M. Subhash Babu is a candidate of Ambu Udyam became a victim of M. Karunanidhi's government fraud and at the same time how fake democracy was implemented in the country without any political news and electioneer news being leaked to the citizens people of India through the media about Ambu Udyam. And after 16 years today on the 25th of August 2025 now on behalf of Ambu Udyam Katchi on August 28, 2010 I am bringing this matter again to the Election Commission of India. In 1975, when Mrs. Indira Gandhi was found guilty by the trial court of electoral fraud, she appealed to the Supreme Court of India against the verdict. And instead of challenging the verdict in the election fraud case against her as an individual, she brought the case before the court on the basis that the intention of the ruling party, the thoughts of the ruling party is the legal opinion of the government, which she was a part of at that time as the union government, as the ruler, as the ruling party, as the representative of the people, was the concept of law. And Mrs. Indira Gandhi got a favorable decision in the Supreme Court as a Prime Minister of Union Government when the lower trial court ruled against her in the election fraud case as an individual. Later, as a central government national security, citing internal and external threats to the country and the need to maintain the security of the country, he declared a national emergency in the country Republic of India. In this regard, when these two political parties, the ruling party and the opposition party, who were in government, continue to deprive the political rights of the citizens of the Republic of India, when these two political parties that are ruling party and opposition party in government in the Union Parliament and the State Legislative Assembly, deprive the democratic rights of the citizens, and in this way commit as such political electoral fraud against the Constitution law of India in an improper democratic manner, and as such continue to keep the government in their hands. The ruling party, and the opponent party of these two alternatively parties is being in government rule are political parties registered and recognized by the Election Commission of India. That could be in government is committing such democratic fraud and democratic assassination. When the Ambu Udhyam Kachhi, which runs a political party in a fully democratic manner in the Republic of India, is registered with the Election Commission of India and operates in accordance with the need to administratively protect the democratic political rights of the citizens of the country, why should the Defense Department not hand over the power of governance of the country to the Ambu Udhyam Kachhi? What is wrong in this? Why should the Election Commission of India, which supports Notar in elections, not support this? Here Ambu Udhyam Kachhi is putting these questions before you. Does the Election Commission of India have any objection to this? When there are about 145 crore citizens in the Republic of India, in accordance with the Representative of the People Act. Considering the current political situations of the political parties in the country and the state condition of the country and the state condition of the state and the condition of the citizens, the Election Commission of India provides the citizens of the country who are voters on the basis of political reasons in the elections with the opportunity to democratically elect one of their fellow citizens as their representative through elections. At the same time, if they do not want to democratically elect any of their fellow citizens in the elections, the Election Commission of India spends the tax money of the people and arranges an alternative way for the citizens of the country to vote in the elections by supporting Notar. Based on the implementation of Notar in the electoral practices process in other countries of the world and its implementation in elections, the Election Commission of India, which has implemented it in our country by taking other countries as an example, why shouldn't the Election Commission of India now support this decisive political approach of Ambu Udhyam? Based on that, what difficulty does the Election Commission of India now face have in taking this decisive decision, based on the stance of Ambu Udhyam politics in the Republic of India? Ambu Udhyam's this political ideology will serve as an example, for countries where such pseudo-democratic practices are practiced, in force, in most democratic countries of the world. Based on the politics of Ambu Udhyam that has merged from the people's standpoint, in the Republic of India, why shouldn't the Election Commission of India take this decision decisively and implement it now, so that the Republic of India can serve as a model for other similar countries of the world in the future? Ambu Udhyam is the honest political ideology that is, I place it before you. From 2009, whenever democratically we contested elections, at every stage, in every period, they continued to commit similar mismanagement and frauds being in government departments when we act under our personal political identity of Ambu Udhyam. And even after registering as a political party with the Election Commission of India as Ambu Udhyam Kachhi, they continued against us to commit similar mismanagement and frauds. As an individual, when I conducted politics and faced elections, when I was affected by the atrocities of the members of the same ruling party in the field and the improper administrative activities of the officials at the departmental levels in the government structure. As a political party, after being registered with the Election Commission of India, after meeting same difficulties continuously, how can I conduct politics at the political party level as a leader? How can I contest elections? Who do I rely on in the administration to run the politics and to contest in election democratically as a citizen of India? Can the Election Commission of India respond to any of these? Will it make any promises? Will it take responsibility? Will the Election Commission of India which only looks after the conduct of elections and the registration of parties, take care of all these. If we say, this is a personal matter of the affected parties, they should take care of this themselves only. How can we reduce the atrocities committed in the country by the political parties in the government that cause this disadvantage harm to the affected parties? How can we control the atrocities committed by the parties that cause this harm? The atrocities will continue to do this both political parties when ordinary citizen is conducting politics and participating in elections and then go to the next job level in democracy. If now this is the case, we allow these activities continuously in the country, how can we prevent these political criminals and political thugs from participating in the government? If the Election Commission cannot prevent the atrocities committed during the conduct of elections, what is the point of holding elections later? Why should they be held? The Election Commission should conduct elections internally, just like the activities carried out by the Defense Department during war operations in the border areas of the Republic of India. Only then will the Election Commission of India gain the trust of the citizens of the Republic of India and of the Ambu Udhyam. Just as the Indian government sent a peacekeeping force to Sri Lanka regarding the Sri Lanka Tamil issue, elections are held democratically every 5 years by the Election Commission of India, by representatives of the people. If this is the case of democracy, how will the people get the benefits in politics they expect through elections in India? How will justice be served to those involved in it? The question arises that does the Election Commission care about this? That is why when Ambu Udhyam points out the ongoing, current, political situation in the country here, and brings up the issues that have personally affected us by the ruling party's improper democratic activities, we feel compelled to point out herein regarding the many matters. In worst representatives of the people in the ruling party government, we see it what can do that does the Election Commission action about it? Even if I go to court and get a verdict on this, it can be said that but it will come out. But in 1975, already we have seen this what happened in the country by ruling party government. In this matter Ambu Udhyam understood the politics and administration. Here I would like to remind you now the two past events as it's. Politically, on behalf of Ambu Udhyam, I would like to point out here what the violence that took place in the country after the assassination of Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi in November 1984 was considered a violation of human rights. The victims complained to the government about the politicians responsible for the violence. At that time, a businessman and member of parliament, Mr. Saranjit Singh, who had suffered complete economic losses, said that action should be taken by the government against politicians who incite violence. He also appealed to the political parties that politicians who are found guilty of inciting violence among the people should not be allowed to contest the next elections, and that these forces are worse than terrorists. We should always remember in election as a voters, to citizens of the Republic of India, that the expression of the sentiment that politicians who incite violence they should be socially boycotted in democratic manner from politics is election. A construction that strengthens the democratic structure of India. Administratively, on behalf of Ambu Udhyam, I would like to point out here what Union Defence Minister Shri K.C. Pant said, that the atrocities of the murder of Gujarat State Minister Shri Vallabhbhai Patel in November 1989 and the shooting of election candidate Shri Sanjay Singh are the examples of the dominance of thugs in politics. At the time, he expressed the caution to the voters as the citizens of India, the political parties and the government, that The dominance of criminals and thugs in national level and state level political life is increasing. Now, if we try to divert democratic processes for temporary interests and regional feelings, it will be very sad to the country in future. The time has come for all those who are truly interested in democracy to strengthen this in politics among the people on democratic grounds. The dominance of criminals in political parties is increasing. All those who have good intentions should come forward to keep these criminals out of politics. The speech of Defence Minister Shrika C. Pant is in the national interest. We should consider it as a manifestation of the political duty of the people in the democratic country of India. During the DMK party rule period in Tamil Nadu, our Indian Prime Minister Shri Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated by a human bomb, came to the electioneering propaganda in 1991 general election. In this similarly, during the AIADMK party rule period in Tamil Nadu, Minister T. Krishnan was hacked to death in 2003. Minister Mayam Pichai was killed in a car accident in 2011. Former Chief Minister Selvi J. Jayalalitha was under medical treatment for 75 days even after from September 2016 to her death December 2016, when doubts arose about this from public. But ruling party government and AIADMK party, they did not issue any statement to clarify about it to the people as a government and as a political party. When these related political party concerned were in power as ruling party in Tamil Nadu State Legislative Assembly, at the same time this party is being members of representatives of the people in Central Parliament as opponent party. The members of the Parliament, MPs and members of the Legislative Assembly, MLAs of other political parties, which were national level political parties and state level political parties, are not arise one of the question to the central and state ruling parties in concerned Union Parliament and State Legislative Assembly as opponent parties. Thereabout law and order situation handled by the ruling party in the state of Tamil Nadu, regarding these unordinary incidents that happened of their fellow members of the concerned parliament and legislature. When we see that all these unordinary incidents in any way did not affect of the political position and the election participation of the ruler's ruling party and didn't make the ruling party any crisis by the other political parties of opponent parties in the government in Union Parliament and State Legislative Assembly, when they all happened in the country, it is clear that these political parties' entire aim was only to stay in power continuously, or ruling party or opponent party in government in alternative place within them. They are not concerned about anything else in the country. At the same time, while the ruling party taking decisions regarding these political killings, political crimes and government policy matters. At present period other parties, they do not question about the law and order situation in the state, people and nation condition like the past union ministers and member of representatives of people. In these unordinary incidents against their fellow representatives of the people, we have to look at these representatives of the political parties, the ruling party, opponent parties and rulers with a question mark on how they can be concerned about the safety of ordinary citizen of the people and officials when the administrative action taken by them in this matter is not appropriate. Whatever the case, this issue will be resolved in a democracy only when ordinary people understand this political maneuver. We don't have to wait until then for that. Those who are in government service along with the rulers can make this political decision as fellow citizens in democracy now. It's possible. When I was studying law, history of courts, constitutional law and international law were my favorite subjects. So I know political history, I know administration, I know court history, I know about the court. I know about the court proceedings, I know about the government, I know about the role of the ruling party in it and politics, and how complicated it is in practice and what are the possible elements for it. After completing my initial legal training, I spent some times with government pleader. I also know about government files and politics. It is on that basis that I came into politics, on the basis of, no matter what happens, we can deal with it. I am conducting politics. When I see and meet the problems in the country in every place, I think about what is the common place that can provide a solution to it based on my thoughts of each period and decide on that basis. And on that basis, I came into politics, instead of going and solving each problem separately. How can we come as a government, in the position of a ruling party, and sit there and bring the entire problem in the nation under control based on the essence of a problem? How can we finalize in it administratively? That is the basis on which I came into politics. That is why I have been able to take it. All the extraordinary things so far I have encountered since I entered politics as normal and face it properly. I would like to say something at this point. What would happen if I took everything that happened to the Ambu Udhyam Kutchi, the problem I am facing now, to the court? Nothing would happen. I saying this does not mean that I do not have faith in the court's actions. On the 16th of November 2017, we had submitted an affidavit along with 7 supporting documents on behalf of the Ambu Udhyam Kutchi to the Commission of Inquiry headed by retired High Court Judge A. Arumugasamy, constituted by the Tamil Nadu government to investigate the mystery of the death of Honorable Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Selvi J. Jayalalitha. The 7 documents submitted by the Ambu Udhyam Kutchi to the Commission of Inquiry were written letters that time, before the Commission of Inquiry was constituted, into the mystery of the death of Honorable Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Selvi J. Jayalalitha. She was said to have fallen ill suddenly and was admitted to Apollo Hospital in Chennai on the 22nd of September 2016 and was said to have been undergoing treatment for 75 days. Later, the Tamil Nadu government officially announced her death on the 5th of December 2016. During this period, government action was taken on behalf of the ruling party through the police and the judiciary against those who raised doubts from the public about her health and the nature of her treatment. After his death, during the period when the political controversy and suspicions were raised by representatives of the people of the Indian Parliament in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly in media regarding her death, this politics was happening casually in Tamil Nadu under the rule of the government. At that time, the government did not take any action against these activities of those people's representatives. The ruling party saw this merely because when they themselves are the people's representatives in that government, how can they take action against them? Are they saints among democratic politicians? On this basis, you will know from the following information that an inquiry commission was set up by the ruling party on behalf of the government to show them as political saints in the political context. During this period, in the letter written to the Excellency President of India Mr. Pranab Mukherjee and the Honorable Prime Minister of India Mr. Narendra Modi on behalf of the Ambu Udhyam Kutchi, the President M. Subhash Babu, I wrote based on the events that occurred in the country. In the political circumstances of the respective period, in the circumstances of manner that would be conducive to administrative action by the government. On the basis of the interests of the country and the people, based on the political positions of the Ambu Udhyam Kutchi, in a manner that was conducive to administrative action by the government. Along within some pages and some lines about the matter of Jayalalitha's death was also placed in those letters casually. That is what I had submitted as government documents on behalf of the Ambu Udhyam Kutchi to the Commission of Inquiry. In that affidavit on my part, my participation in this Commission of Inquiry was not as an individual, but as my participation on behalf of the government in this Commission of Inquiry, which is investigating the mystery surrounding the death of the former Chief Minister. The affidavit, which consisted of 145 pages, had 461 questions and identified more than 159 persons to be questioned and submitted it, in my statement to the Commission. The Commission conducted its investigation of all the relevant persons based on the matters contained in the affidavit that I had submitted to the Commission on behalf of the Ambu Udhyam Kutchi. However, I had submitted a letter to the Commission requesting details that I was not called by the Commission at any stage based on the affidavit that I had submitted to the Commission, and then another affidavit with further details. While it is within the discretion of the Commission to call or not to call the relevant person me based on the affidavit that I had submitted to the Commission, there is no need to force or compel it. But on the basis of the documents submitted by me along with the affidavit, the Commission of Inquiry took care it without my participation. Ambu Udhyam Citizens Own Politics.